In the vast plains of the Maasai Mara, where the golden savanna stretches beyond the horizon and the silhouettes of acacia trees paint the skyline, there lived a courageous young woman named Naleku. She was the daughter of Mzi Olekau, the respected elder of the Maasai village of Enkai. Naleku was known for her fierce spirit, her love for her people, and her unique bond with the land that sustained them. She had inherited her father's wisdom and her late mother's tenacity, making her both a skilled warrior and a compassionate leader in her community. Naleku's closest companion was her younger brother, Lakuta. Though they often bickered like siblings do, their bond was unbreakable. Lakuta, unlike his sister, was gentle and more inclined towards storytelling and song than battle. However, he admired Naleku's strength and bravery. Their relationship was filled with warmth, but also with underlying tension. Lakuta felt the pressure of living up to the expectations set by his father and his formidable sister. One day, news arrived that a rival clan, led by the ambitious and ruthless Moran Enkai, was planning to seize control of their lands. Enkai, an estranged cousin of Naleku and Lakuta, had always resented their father, Mzi Olekau, for his wisdom and leadership. Enkai's father, Mzi Olasana, had once been the chief of a neighboring village, but after a dispute over cattle and grazing lands, Olasana's pride led to a feud that resulted in his exile. This exile sowed a deep-seated grudge in Enkai, who grew up believing that his family had been wronged. Now, a formidable warrior himself, he sought revenge and power. Enkai sent a message to Mzi Olekau, demanding the return of the lands he claimed were rightfully his, and threatening violence if his demands were not met. The village of Enkai was thrown into turmoil. The elders convened under the shade of a sacred acacia tree, debating how to respond. Some feared Enkai's wrath and suggested negotiations, or even yielding some of their land. But Naleku, sitting among the elders, was adamant. "If we give him what he wants now, he will never stop," she argued, her eyes blazing with conviction. "This is our home. We must defend it." Mzi Olekau was torn. He knew the dangers of conflict, but also understood his daughter's point. The village looked to him for a decision. "We will prepare to defend ourselves," he finally declared, "but we must also seek peace if we can." He tasked Naleku with organizing the warriors for defense, and sent a peace envoy to Enkai, hoping to avoid bloodshed. Naleku wasted no time. She rallied the young warriors of the village, teaching them tactics and instilling in them the courage needed to protect their homes. Lakuta, though not a warrior by nature, joined his sister. He wanted to prove himself, to show that he too could stand up for their family and community. Naleku noticed his efforts, and though she often teased him, she was proud of her brother's resolve. As preparations continued, Enkai's spies watched closely, reporting back to their leader. Enkai, driven by anger and a desire to humiliate his cousin, decided to strike fear into the hearts of Enkarian's people. He led a raid one night, burning a few scattered huts and stealing cattle. This act was more than just a warning. It was a declaration of war. The village was in shock. Naleku, however, remained calm and strategic. She instructed the warriors to set traps around the perimeter and form alliances with neighboring villages who had also suffered from Enkai's aggression. Meanwhile, tensions within Naleku's own family began to surface. Lakuta, frustrated by the growing conflict and his perceived lack of contribution, lashed out at his sister. "You always know what to do, don't you?" he shouted. "You've always been the strong one, the brave one. But not everything is solved with a spear or shield." Naleku, taken aback, struggled to understand his anger. "This isn't about me, Lakuta," she replied. "It's about all of us. I'm doing what must be done to protect our home." But Lakuta felt unheard, and a rift began to form between them. As the days passed, the air grew heavy with tension. Enkai prepared his warriors for a full assault, his bitterness blinding him to any reason. Meanwhile, Mzi Olekau's envoy returned, unsuccessful in their peace mission. Enkai had rejected any talks, his eyes fixed only on conquest. The village elders were filled with dread, knowing that a confrontation was inevitable. One evening, as the sun dipped below the horizon and the sky blazed in hues of orange and red, Naleku had a heart-to-heart with Lakuta. "I know you don't want this fight," she said softly, "but sometimes we have to stand for what is right, even if it means conflict. Our people need us, Lakuta. I need you." Her words struck a chord in him. He realized that his sister wasn't trying to overshadow him. She was trying to protect their home and their legacy. They embraced, and the bond between them grew stronger than ever. The day of the battle arrived. Enkai and his warriors, adorned in their Maasai shuka, with faces painted in fierce patterns, advanced toward Enkarian. Naleku, standing tall with her spear in hand and traditional red and blue shuka wrapped around her, rallied her warriors with a powerful speech, invoking the spirits of their ancestors and the courage of their people. The clash was intense. Dust filled the air as the two sides met in a whirlwind of spears and shields. Naleku fought valiantly, her movements swift and precise, like a lioness protecting her pride. Lakuta, armed with his bow, provided cover from a distance, his resolve now stronger than ever. The village warriors, inspired by their leaders, fought with all their might. During the battle, Naleku faced Enkai. The two cousins stared each other down, both filled with emotion, one with righteous fury, the other with deep-seated resentment. Enkai taunted her, "You think you can lead these people? You think you're better than me?" Naleku responded, "This isn't about being better, Enkai. It's about protecting what is ours." They clashed fiercely, their spears striking with deadly force. Enkai, driven by his anger, fought recklessly, while Naleku remained calm and calculated. With a swift move, she disarmed Enkai and brought him to the ground. Instead of delivering a fatal blow, she paused. "This doesn't have to end in more bloodshed," she said, her voice steady. "We are family, Enkai. Let us end this feud now." Enkai, panting and exhausted, stared at his cousin. For a moment, his anger flickered, and he saw the truth in her eyes. He had been driven by hatred for so long that he had forgotten what it meant to be part of a community, a family. Realizing his folly, he lowered his head in defeat. The battle ended with the warriors of Enkarian victorious. Enkai's men, seeing their leader spared, laid down their arms. The villagers erupted in cheers, and Naleku was hailed as a hero. Mzi Olekau embraced his daughter, proud of her wisdom and courage. In the days that followed, Enkai, humbled by his defeat, his cousin's mercy, asked for forgiveness. He pledged to work together to bring peace and prosperity to both their villages. Naleku and Lakuta, now closer than ever, became symbols of unity and strength, teaching that true power lies not in conquest, but in understanding and protecting what matters most. And so, under the vast skies of the Maasai Mara, Naleku became known as the protector of Enkarian, a warrior who fought not just with her spear but with her heart.